In a small village nestled among the hills of western Kenya, where the earth was red and the air heavy with the scent of banana leaves and firewood, lived a girl who didn't speak much. Her name was Naliaka, 17 years old, eyes deep as a forgotten well. Raised by her grandmother, Mama Jalea, the village herbalist, midwife, and keeper of old truths. Most days Naliaka sat in silence under the mugumo tree, threading beads into colorful strands, anklets, bracelets, necklaces. She never sold them, only wore them. Each bead had a meaning, each color a prayer, each thread tied with memory. Then came Pastor Simiyu, a man with a voice like thunder and a belly full of secrets. He built a new church by the river. Cement, glass, metal gates, big, modern, shiny. He preached fire and holiness. But behind the altar, his fire burned for different things. He saw Naliaka one Sunday, her beads, her silence, her beauty. He smiled too long, spoke too sweet. He began sending gifts, bread, money, a Bible with her name engraved. Then came the private prayers, the invitations, the insistence. Naliaka said no, at first gently, then firmly, then with silence. And that's when the threats began. He stood in church and preached about Jezebels, about wayward girls who tempt holy men, and the eyes of the village began to shift. Naliaka stopped going to church. She stopped smiling. Her beads stopped dancing. One night she came home with her beads torn from her neck, her eyes red. She didn't say a word. Mama Jalea knew. She knelt beside her and placed her hands on her granddaughter's shoulders. "My daughter's fire is in you," she whispered. "Your beads are not ornaments. They are shields and stories and fire. Wear them again, not as a girl, but as truth." Sunday came. Church was full. Pastor Simiyu climbed the pulpit. The choir sang, women clapped, children laughed. Then the doors opened, and Naliaka walked in, beads glowing against her dark skin. Head held high, she walked to the front, and in a voice louder than she had ever used, she told her story, not just hers. Others too. Girls who'd moved away, girls who had stayed silent, girls who had been told not to shame the church. Gasps, tears, silence, and then the whispers turned into voices. The voices turned into a roar. By sunset, Pastor Simiyu was gone. In the weeks that followed, Naliaka's beads became more than beauty. They became symbols of resistance, of truth, of the fire beneath silence. And in that small village, where power had long been mistaken for holiness, a girl with beads had lit a flame no one could put out. The fire beneath her beads wasn't born from revenge, it was born from memory and the refusal to forget. And now, every time they sway on her neck, they remind the world silence is not submission, and truth always burns brighter.